Welcome to Nico's Bullpen. I'm Nick, and we got a fun little thing to start off today. Let's get started. It's always fun to get started, right? So here's my thesis that I had that I set up this morning in our community, right? As you see right here, if the SPY can get the breakout at and retest at 384.74 there, that's this area, then it could build up enough buying pressure, and we can finally get to see 392.02. Well, as you see, okay, chances I don't think we didn't get that, right? I don't think we just didn't get that. What ended up happening is that instead of bouncing off 384.74 during pre-market, or I'm sorry, during the market hours, we actually only started breaking. We kept rejecting on 383.72. Okay. And with that happening, with that rejection at that area, that's this line right here. All right, this line right here is where it was rejecting, and then we fell downward. Whoops, sorry. Nope, that line is down here somewhere. It just don't show on this chart. It's my other chart, which you guys will see here in a minute. Anyway, so let's see. If once, yeah, here we go. Once we break this descending line, this descending line of support on the 4-hour chart, this is this whole chart right here. This is that descending line of support. If we will get it can fall to 380.50, and the SPY came back and is now retesting 384. If the SPY cannot get a clear break over that line, then the SPY will drop to 380.38. Okay, that was the prediction we have set up. Now, of course, right here, this line right here, we haven't got to that point yet. So far, we've gotten to this point, and based on this thesis alone, right? Let's tell you what. Let's go check out what we did. So let's go check out the actual chart. There's the actual chart. All right. There's that. There's this ascending line of support. This is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about, where we rejected at the 383.80. Okay, rejected twice during market hours. Here, right on pre-market, came down, climbed back up a bit, and got a soft touch here, but could not get a clear break over 383.26, which means we fell all the way down. There you go, 380.41, which is right there at my 380.38. This is what you call a completed thesis, right? Over here in pre-market, okay, let's scooch over a little bit. Scooch, there we are. Here in pre-market, right? Scooch. You see that we couldn't get back over 384.74. Okay, because we kept tapping right there. We broke down, and we slammed right here at 383.26, and we broke down again. Based on my thesis, you get two of them, right? And we'll come back over here. We're gonna come back. I'm gonna show you something real quick. Based on my thesis, okay, I was able to take positions. Okay, so first position was the call section. This right here. This little call section right here was the position I was able to take on. You see how right here, this is a 3-minute chart. You see this wide range candle. Some call it a doji. I got in on the engulfing candle. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the setup. Right? No BS, baby. No BS. Right here. There's my trades. You see the entry, right? That little green tag. That's my entry. This is my that's my exit. Okay. Here it is. This is in my trading journal. My setup is above the previous red candle, right? That's this one right here. The previous red candle off my entry, which is the wick right here, and went to 2R. So there it is. My entry is on this candle, but in order to find my entry on this candle, I went to the previous red candle to find my entry. So I went to the top of the wick of this candle, all right, took entry, and look, she goes. As she's going upward, I'm scaling upwards, locking in profits along the way. If and there you go. She went. This one got a little happy, right? Because this one got a little happy, I threw my stop in. Okay, and there you go. 170, $1.78 all the way to 260.76. These are options, by the way. These are options. However, if you like I said before, if you notice, right, there's the calls. There it is. That's this right here. Right? That's this right here. All right. This is how we play options. We play them safely. And if you notice, it just played out so well. All right. This is how we take options. These are scalps. I'm sure you got a lot of you've known and learned about scalps. But what about this? Right? What about that? That's a good doggone question. But look how well she played off of that line, that ascending line of support, right? Which worked out so well. And because it worked out so well, that we saw a great entry. Okay, we see it bouncing up here. You see this wick, this candle right here at this moment at 10:21. You see this big long wick, where the rejection is. So guess what? I'm seeing another buy setup right here, roughly around this area. So now I'm getting it set up. I'm right here at 383.22, but I need a better setup, right? So we're gonna move. We're gonna drop down to the 1 minute time frame real quick. Because 3 minutes I see good setups. 1 minute I want to see I want to see my entry. Okay, so let's scooch over to my entry. There we go. There's the entry right there. Let's zoom in on the action. Doop. There we go. There's the entry. All right, there it is. That's that long wick we were talking about. There's my entry right there. There's my entry. All right. Got in at this point, at the tail, the tip of the tail is my entry, and that's what she plays out. Wow, very, very nice. Now you're like, did you really catch that? That's a good doggone question. I don't know. I tell you what. Let's check out the journal, and the journal says we did catch it right there, as you see at the top of the wick. Same setups, right? Weird how setups work if you study. The top of the wick of the second candle, that's this one right here. On the left of my entry was the entry setup. Took position and locked in a profit along the way. Got the target up to $2, which is for our profit. So right there, you got the top here. That was my entry. See how beautiful that played out? And she rolled up. My stop loss was where's my stop loss? Yeah, that one. My stop loss was right here. Okay, there. Sorry about that. There you go. At the bottom of this tail was my stop loss. My entry was at the wick of this candle. All right, and look how she played out. Voila, she goes up. As she's going up, start scaling up. All right, slowly. All right, I used to here. This is, as you see right there, 3 minute chart. I scaled up slowly. Okay, made sure once it got up here, got that breakout, I moved my stop up to here. Went up, gave me this beautiful little long tail, short body, small wick setup, staying above this little green line here. And of course, once she kept this little candle right here, gave me the continuation. Guess what? Move my stop to right there under this tail. All right, slowly but surely gaining up. Once you got past the 50 SMA and got that pop off the 50 SMA, there we go. I'm getting closer to my target. So of course, once I got here, right, stop loss here. I see it getting close to my target. Put in my sell order at $2. That's my target. Sure enough, bam, got target. Whole setup off of what you see, right? Off what you see, which is this move right there. Let me zoom out of that. That's all kinds of wicked, right? Still working on the smoothness of the stream, you know what I mean? So right here, that setup right here, this whole thing, right? This is an ascending wedge, okay? There's your breakdown. Here's my entry, right there, that candle right there, and falls. Comes down a little bit. See how that one will tap, as you saw in the other one, right? This little J hook, right? Let's go back. Let's look at that. That J hook, you see it? That J hook is right here. That's this right here. That little flat line right there. That's the J hook. All right. And then of course, go switch back over real quick. There she goes, and she falls. Slides up, falls. Yep. All right. No, we did not come all the way down to here. We did not take it all the way down here. We took profits right there. That's where we took profits. All right. So don't let people don't be no. There's that's not how that worked. We took profits here because from up here to here was a whole dollar move on our options. So that's what we took. We capitalized. Now, you're probably saying, I left money on the table. No, I did not. I took from here to here is the meat of the move. I don't need all of this. I don't need the very bottom. I just need the meat of the move. By taking the meat of the move, I was able to capitalize on what I was looking for. And in order to capitalize on what I'm looking for one thing. The one thing that I had already set up, the thesis. This thesis right here is how I was able to capitalize on making money, locking in profits, cutting losses. And that's how we did it. And now, can you do the same thing? Absolutely. Slide back over here real quick. By following the charting out, this takes education. This takes understanding of your expectations. Not only expectations of yourself, but expectations of the chart. If you understand the expectations of what you're looking for, what you're expecting out of the chart, then you find yourself being able to take profits quickly because you already are not over expecting too much. Oh, I'm seeing this thing going to 460 or 460. Yeah, sure. 460 or 320. And today, you're just so bearish or so bullish, and you're not following the trend. Trend doesn't tell us that we're going to do all that. Trend tells us that we're going to fall downward if we can't break a certain level. That's what trend told us. And by trend telling us this, we were able to follow exactly what we needed to do. Follow the thesis. The chart tells you everything you need to know. And there you go. Here's my 6 charts. As you've clearly seen before, this is how we play them out, right? That little bottom is basically just the thesis peekabooing right there on the bottom right-hand corner. But there you go. The trend itself is telling you everything you need to know. All right, 388 back Friday pre-market. Here we are dancing around this levels. And when it's dancing around certain levels, you know that it's starting to have rejections. It's starting to have issues getting up again, getting the buy volume that it's looking for, like right here in this bottom middle chart, right? The 30-minute chart. Right here on Friday, we knocked down around 381.07. It looked like we started getting a low, higher low, higher low. What happened? She hit her head right here at 384.74. She couldn't get above it. That tells me that Friday morning, she couldn't hold above it. So chances are, this is telling us she's going to go downward. That's why the thesis was set. If we could break over that, it says it right there. We can get to this line right here, even possibly even get back to 388.37. But we have to break 384.74 in order for that to happen. As you see, we couldn't even break it during pre-market. So as soon as we opened up in market, right, we opened up right here at 383.26. Let's see, get that little zoom in right there, which probably isn't necessary. We got it up here. We open right here, we open up here just slightly above 383.26, come down, retest that line again, okay, and then we fell. All right, I'm okay with that. That fall told me that I'm getting set up. No, I did not take this setup. I did not take that setup at all. I was patiently watching, and by patiently watching, I was able to take this setup, and because I saw it reject here, right, we got right here back over 383.26. Thesis stated if we cannot break over and hold 383.26, we can see down back to 382.22, 380.22 to 380.38. Thesis said it all. So I see it rejecting here because it rejected here, just like it did here and here. I knew to go ahead and get my position in. Got my position in. Sure enough, thesis played out. Breaks under the 200 SMA and just starts ripping downward. All right. Well, more like bouncing downward, but still. And of course, as you see here, now I would love to have held it down to here, right? The 380.38, but it got to where I wanted. And this pullback here tears options up. Keep that in mind. I used 0 DTEs, 0 days to expire. That means this little move upward would have murdered my premiums. So this is why I take these type of moves, because these moves keeps the premiums intact. This backward here, this fade would have killed the premiums and it came back up. You would have only gained by holding, okay, holding from here to here, back down to here. You would have only gained $50, Whereas if you would just take profits, reposition yourself based on the options chart, then you can ride her downward and collect more. All right. That's how you can play them out. But that's how we play out DTEs. DTEs are very dangerous unless you know how to play them. We know how to play them successfully, as you can tell, because we actually write up a thesis based on what the chart is going to do before we play out options. This way, this allows us to have a more clear view of what we're looking for, and then all we got to do is just trade the plan. The stock is going to tell us. In this case, the SPY. The SPY is going to tell us what we're looking for. The SPY is going to tell you where it's going, how it's going, and how far it's even going, where it's going to bounce off of. That's what all these lines are for. These lines are visual cues of what the SPY has been telling you, or Tesla, or whatever stock you're trading. That's what these lines are for. They're not there to say, oh, they're going to respect my lines. No, they're there to show you visual cues of where it could possibly react, so you know where to lock in profits, scale up, scale down, scale in, scale out, whatever it is your trading plan is in your head, because your trading plan is yours and yours alone. My way of trading is not yours, right? You may want to do a bigger position than I do. Okay, so that being said, the process doesn't change though. The process, you read the chart, you analyze the chart, and then once you finish analyzing the chart, you see if it plays out. If it doesn't play out the way you analyze it, then you didn't read it right. Then you need to go back and reread the chart, reanalyze the chart until your thesis starts coming to fruition. When your thesis starts playing out, that's when you know you're reading the chart right, and now you know you can start locking in profits. This all comes from studying. My own mentor has said it, and I say it today. Do not allow your expectations to overexceed your education or your experience. A lot of people out here do exactly that. They allow their expectations coming into the market undercapitalized, underfunded, and uneducated, thinking they have this big expectation. They're just going to rock the market, and next thing you know, they find themselves getting murdered financially because they do not understand. They follow these gurus, these wannabe players that think they know how to trade. Trade like, was it last week? Oh, do calls at 402. Load up on calls at 402, and then it just tanked $4 the opposite direction. His go-to wasn't, I'm sorry, I was wrong. It didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. The momentum wasn't there. No, none of that. It's, you know the risk. You took the, you know the risk. You shouldn't have took it if you couldn't handle the risk. What? See, in our community, but when it started dancing on 404s, I told my own community, no, we will not see 416 at all, because the chart's telling us that we will not see 416, and do not do calls at 402, and none of us did. We refused to do it because of the fact that it didn't look right. Now, that doesn't mean everybody bought puts. Don't get me wrong. Nobody bought puts either. All right? No, it's not that we caught that move. Okay? Not in its entirety anyway, but it just wasn't saying calls. All right? It wasn't saying long. The chart wasn't saying none of that. So I just, before I can get it out my mouth, I said, yeah, actually, I think it was like right as I got it out my mouth, actually. I was like, we ain't seeing 416 today. And sure enough, maybe a minute or two, maybe, okay? She just dropped like a rock. And that was it. I couldn't even say, jump in on puts. I see this happening here, jump in on puts, or short sell this at this price. I couldn't get that far at that out of my mouth. I was barely lucky to will not get to 416 today out of my mouth before it decided to drop like a rock. So that being said, this is what you got here. This is the thesis that we follow, right? Whoops, it ain't there. But this is how we do it. So to wrap things up, study. I can't stress that enough. Study the charts. Learn how to chart. Watch videos on education, real educational stuff. Not these wannabes, oh, I can turn your $100 account into a $100,000 account, $10,000 account. That's BS. Education and realistic expectations will get you where you want to go. If you like what you saw, you want to keep learning more, come join our community. Socials are all up on this thing. If you want to see more here, please like, share, do all you got to do, and please keep watching. Hit the subscribe button. thank you guys so much for watching. Love you. Love the support. And ding ding.